Hi guys, this is Stan. Huge welcome if you're new here. Fall is coming, guys. For me, that means just one thing, a perfect reason to stack up our sky high TBR. This season, I've got some epic fantasy finale to conquer, some brand new releases that I can't wait to get my hand on, and of course a couple of cozy and spooky vibe that is perfect for the season. More interestingly, I've got some choices that I am quite desperately in need of your advice. We will get to it a bit later, so stay tuned to it. So let's get into my Fall TBR, 12 books in 3 months, and hopefully there wouldn't be any reading slump. First of all, let's talk about my 2025 reading plan. At this stage, you are probably tired of me repeating this epic fantasy series. I have got 2 series that I want to finish by the end of the year, and hopefully I can take them off by November. First of all, I have The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson because I've only got 2 books left, Towers of Midnight and A Memory of Light. I will finish Towers of Midnight in September and A Memory of Light in November, so job done. And the other series I need to tackle is the Echoes Saga by Philip C. Quintrell. There is only 1 trilogy left, meaning that I only got 3 books left. They are The Knights of Erador, The Last of Dragon, and A Clash of Fate. Different from The Wheel of Time, I will read this series monthly, but same as The Wheel of Time, I will finish these 2 epic fantasy in November, which is really exciting to think about. I have a feeling both series going to be great and emotional, and they all become 2 of my all-time favorite epic fantasy series as well. And if you know me well, I also got some book subscription, but the only active one I have left is the Broken Binding Fantasy sub. In August, I have already received the first book of a new series, and it is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. And it is the first book of the Between Sky and Earth series. I mean, look at this cover. It is so different from all the other series they have done. Let's say JCT, let's say The Memory, Sorrow and Thorn, and The Mask of Mirror. This really look different, but looks cool. And I mean, also look at this spray edge. I really love this celestial design, but also with some feather from the crow. It looks really awesome. The Broken Binding nailed it again. Judging by this cover and the spray edge and the interior art, I think this series is going to be a blend of fantasy and sci-fi. I don't think I've ever seen this cover, not this cover, but the old cover in Waterstones before. Looking at the synopsis, I think this series is inspired by the pre-Columbian America, and it looks like we also have some sort of space traveling elements. If you know me well enough, sci-fi and me don't usually have the greatest relationship. So let's see, will this series change my mind? I guess it is also one of the positives of having a book subscription to really step out of your comfort zone and try something new. Otherwise, I don't think I'll ever pick this series up and read. After some usual predictable book picks, now it is the time to celebrate autumn this season, to find some books that can strictly be read in this season. First of all, I just don't know why in autumn you would want something that is like easy to read, easy to swallow, and I'm talking about cozy fantasy. I would say now we got so many choices out there in the market, but the one that really clicks with me is still Legends and Latte by Travis Baldree. Without a doubt, Legends and Latte is like the starter of the cozy fantasy, this genre, or at least it is a series that started this trend. Before, we don't even see anything like this under fantasy this genre, but now look at your local bookshop, plenty of them, right? But still, I picked up Legends and Latte because I mean, look at its reputation. If many people are talking about it, it can't be bad. Also, I know that maybe 1 or 2 years ago, the sequel was out and it was called Bookshop and Dust, Sawdust and Bone, something like that. And I also know that there's going to be a sequel out in November or December this year. So it is pretty exciting. If you can look at my shelf, you can tell I don't really read that much cozy fantasy. The last one and the only one that I have read is The Teller of Small Fortune, which I enjoyed. So I want to check out more cozy fantasy works because I mean it is such a popular, trendy genre at the moment, and I want to see does Legend and Latte worth the hype. Also in autumn, of course, we can't miss out the spooky season, and I'm talking about Halloween. From my TBR, I have one that suits this vibe, heard about quite a lot of positives about it, but never got a chance to get into it. And I am talking about Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff, the first book of the Empire of the Vampire series. Funny story here, maybe a year ago, I tried to read the paperback of this book in Waterstones, but gosh, the words on the paperback is like so tiny. I was a bit afraid to start this series. If I'm right here, I think it is a story when vampire completely taken over humanity. Then our main character coming from a brotherhood want to re-establish the authority of human. Not really sure what to expect from this series, and I mean it is also my first time to read any work by J. Kristoff. Like it or not, I guess we'll find it out together in October. Probably I'll make a reading vlog about it as well, so stay tuned to it. Okay, after something that is suitable for the optimal vibe, of course we can't miss out some new releases, and I've already put 2 down in my diary. First of all, we are back to a series that I think is quite fun. We have The Art of Legend by Wesley Ju, the 3rd book of the Water Outlaws Saga. Most of the epic fantasy would start with a prophecy stating that our chosen one would defeat the greatest evil, defeat the greatest enemy of all time. But coming to the Water Outlaws Saga, it kind of makes it more fun because our main character is a chosen one and he thinks he is ready, but that is not the case. He is far away. Also, in the very beginning of the series, we already know that there is like a twist to this prophecy. By the way, it is a wuxia, Chinese martial art inspired fantasy. I had a really fun time with the first 2 books. Political intrigue, interesting turns of events, and what a lovely group of companions. Other than the main characters, master and student relationship, we also have other interesting side characters. Let's say a great warrior that wanna change her fate, and a quirky bounty hunter and her group. Also, you may not know the author was a stunt actor before, so with this experience, he could really write some lively action sequences in the style of like the classic Chinese martial art novel. I honestly can't wait to get back to this world and check the progress of our chosen one, Jian. The next one I have is going to be a wild ride. I didn't expect I would love the first book so much. It is just a really fun adventure with great banter. And I'm talking about the Backfire Blade by James Logan, the 2nd book of the Last Legacy series. This series starts with Lucan, our main character, want to investigate the mysterious death of his father. With the clues left by him, Lucan traveled to a new city called Savrona. In here, he met a lovely, fun street rat called Flea and a newly met ally called Ashra. I really enjoyed the adventure with this group of characters. Explore every city landscape, faced some great dangers, and even got pulled into a political conspiracy. This dynamic is just so fun once again, but with its own stakes and dangers. We don't need to wait too long for this sequel because it is going to be out in early November to meet Lucan again, and I also want to have some more information about Lucan's family. Now, it is the moment that I need your help. As a reader, I think we all share one thing in common, even though we don't know each other. We just got so many unread books on the shelves. Here I have already picked up some books from my shelves, but I just don't know which one to start with. Some has been staying with me for far too long, and I really need to get this business done. If you want my reviews on certain books, or if you think some books is going to be a fun ride, you can share all your thoughts in the comment below. These books you may have already come across before because they may be featured in, let's say, book haul or some seasonal TBR. So I need to at least finish one of them because I just don't want to waste any time. The first one I have here is the Water Outlaws by S.L. Huang. It is a retelling of one of the classic novels in China. It is a story about Ling Chong, an expert arms instructor's life suddenly turned upside down because of a man. Later, she was recruited to this bandit of Lianshan, which is surprisingly all women. They all want to take revenge on this corrupted empire. It is such a fun one because I mean it is inspired by one of the classic novels in China, and I just want to see is the inspiration gonna be as strong as in like Poppy War. It is going to be a fun one if it is the case. Next one, I have the Outcast Mage by Annabelle Campbell, and I think it is like a magic school setting story. With the trials coming, Nana needs to prove her control over her magical ability. Luckily, she met a mentor, but this mentor got enemy behind his back. So Nana is in a desperate time to realize and explore her potential. Huge bonus to this one because if I finish this one, I can take off one of the prom of the Reddit Fantasy Bingo, the underrated fantasy. Currently, it only got 800 each rating on Goodreads, so I think it is the time to kill it. The third choice here is A Song of Legends Lost by M.H. Indy. It is a slightly thicker entry from the Enigma Crate subscription. I think it is going to be an epic fantasy of revenge and rebellion. Our main character, Tammy, is a commoner, but she can access the magical ability of the noble blood, which is to invoke the spirit. And it seems that this power is the key to end the centuries-long war. I think the quality of this special edition is just so good. I really love this cover because it is designed by one of my favorite artists of all time, Jeff Brown. His work is really cool. I really love his style for epic fantasy. So another bonus point for it. The last one I have here is Firebird by Julia Cross, and it is a slightly different one. It is a romantasy from the Fairy Loot subscription. All I know about this book is, once again, this book was designed by Jeff Brown, and you can even see his design works really well for a romantasy. The second thing I know about this book is how controversial it could be. I think it is a darker take on romantasy and it involves a colonizer oppressed romance. It sounds problematic, right? But still, I want to continue with it. It's only because I want to see how controversial it really is from my eyes. So these are the 4 books that you can vote on. Let me know which one do you think is more interesting and you want me to read first. It is going to be a big help to me. So that is my Fall TBR. 12 books in total, but covering everything we need. Let's say epic finale, spooky vampire, and some cozy fantasy. But now I want to hear from you guys. Which one should I start first? Because I mean, it is such a big stack. And if you have finished any of this, feel free to share what you thought in the comment. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and if you don't want to miss out any Fantasy TBR wrap-up, review, reading vlog, or any other fun ideas, just make sure you have already hit the subscribe and like this video. I'll see you guys real soon. Goodbye!